Hey guys, welcome back to Biz Stories. We have here with us Jack and Joey, amazing entrepreneurs, where they're going to tell us a bit about their business and how they got here.
Yeah, so I'm Joe. I started Pilot Plus about 4 or 5 years ago now, just before coming to university. So the business itself is a flight simulation software company. So we make virtual environments to kind of field flight simulators and make the experience for training pilots realistic.
I'm Jack. I joined a couple of years into Pilot Plus with Joe and kind of worked on the rebranding and developing along the way as well.
So you must be like really proud of yourselves, like starting your own business. How old were you? Like 16, 17?
Yeah, about around then. I think it's been kind of a long journey, but it's been good fun. That's the main thing.
It's helped to develop a lot of skills, I think, outside of education as well. So you kind of get a hands-on approach to a lot of different areas and different topics.
Yeah,
which is good.
Would you say like you're the kind of students who don't want a 9-to-5 job and you just like want to like create things, build things?
Yeah, that's basically
definitely.
We kind of spent a lot of time just kind of coding away at the type of things that we're building on. Whether it be late at night, early in the morning, or early hours of the morning.
With Uni it works quite well, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with Uni as well, we can do what we want from that aspect, in which we can choose the hours and so well.
Yeah, so I used to work part-time when you started anyway,
yeah.
And then I dropped from my job to carry on with this, because I'd rather do that than that. Yeah, so both myself and Joe study at Swansea University. I'm an economics student and Joe studies business, but that kind of doesn't stop you dabbling in these different areas of technical skills, so that's kind of what we're going to discuss today.
Alright. So the first thing I asked you was, do you know who's a coder? Who does the coding for this simulation?
So none of us might say.
The kind of products we make are more graphical than, I'd say, coding, if that kind of makes any sense.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an add-on that will provide to aid people to train in the simulator. So it's mostly visual components.
There's elements of coding. So business process-wise, there's and product development process-wise, there's kind of code that can dabble in both places.
Mm-hmm.
From product development side, there's recent things we've used, such as just like Python, to automate processes, where it would take hours to run through loads of files and then we have Python files to kind of automate everything, which make it super fast. It means we can make products faster. And then from the business processing point of view, whether it be customer data, product activation and license key generation.
Even just web orders, right?
Even taking online orders and distributing downloads. All of that fits in web development, which is then kind of what I bring to the table. So there's kind of both.
Kind of split.
Yeah, it's not definitely like helping to deliver the product, but it's kind of the supporting functions around that, and then the products themselves are the visual kind of aspect.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Does that make sense?
It does make at least most of it makes sense. The business part makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So, I know, how did you guys meet and how old were you when the business started?
So I think I was 16, 17 when I started the business. The other alternative was to take a part-time job in Toys R Us, which is also now shut. I think so. That was the kind of the other alternative. I was 16, 17 at the time. But I have a kind of passion for aviation, and that's what led to then making the software in that industry. I kind of worked on it then for about a year, and then Jack joined after that. But we were both in school at the time.
Yeah, so college, kind of A-levels time, kind of just seeing what free time there was and doing something productive with that. So.
Okay. So what made you bring Jack in? Like, what did you see? What was it? Was it just like friendly thing, or do you consider like he's going to bring things to the business?
It was a mixture of both. Obviously, we're best friends as well, but it's more so the business was at the point where we had I kind of made a few products. It was limited to the technical knowledge that I have. Jack has his own technical capabilities, and it was the next logical step to kind of bring Jack in. We would work on the next products and drive the business further.
So basically, use best sides of each other.
Kind of complements. I think it's more useful as well as in that kind of same time period. There was a lot of work to do with just one person, so being able to actually split that workload in kind of the same location, really live around the corner from each other, so it makes it nice and easy rather than relying on kind of remote working and stuff like that. So,
would you say have you like as friends as well as business partners, would you ever say that you had difficult times with like not agreeing with anything with each other?
Well, yeah, I think it's natural.
There's always going to happen, isn't
Yeah,
it? So,
exactly. But then we always seem to come to conclusions. Whether it be problems such as deciding on the next product, or more so maybe processes of how we get to the output that we're trying to get to.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of working out by trial and error along the way. And if you've kind of mastered one yourself, you want to make sure that that process continues with the same person. So there can sometimes be barriers there.
Yeah.
But
and then, well, more so this challenge now is we've got our internal processes and they work great for us. And then we've got a few other people that work remotely as well.
So bringing those involved.
So it's kind of making that work. Well, obviously we're same location, sat desks, it works, and then we've got remote people elsewhere in the country, and kind of bringing them into our processes to make the products and make it work.
How did you like resolve this problem? You know, like when you're like, I want to do that, I want to do this. Like, did you sit down and see the cons, pros, or?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's weighing up what's best for the business at the end of the day. But then we're not doing it purely for like the fun of it now. It's actually got some reward for it. So it's kind of making sure that we're doing what's best for the brand and financially as well.
So it is a profitable business, it's not like something as a hobby.
It was always been profitable from the start.
It's a rare case, I suppose, where a lot of the time you can actually see profit from the early days of business, but in our case anyway, it's kind of lucky.
The only time, so obviously the very start when we made the first product, there was about 2 or 3 months where I spent kind of part time at college making the first product. That period obviously was not profitable because there was nothing released at that point. But then when it got to that point, it was then obviously went on sell online, and then from that point onwards, it's been profitable for the past few years, which is great.
It is great, you know. I mean, started a business from 16 years old, and you're running it right now. Would you say what kind of companies you get as customers? Obviously, don't tell me the names of the companies, but like, is it like aviation?
Yeah, everything's aviation related. The base kind of skills and products really that we're making are beyond the scope of aviation, you could say.
Transferable, basically.
Yeah,
highly transferable.
It's transferable. It could be to anything, but we focus on aviation because we always have. Types of customers will mainly be hobbyist pilots. So if they're training, so it could be general kind of people that are training to be airline pilots or get their private pilot license, which is people.
Both of which cost
a lot of
£10,000, so
yeah, to get a private pilot license costs $10,000. To do full airline training academy costs over $100,000. So that's why lots of people resort to flight simulators to train. Problem is when they go onto the flight simulators and they look around the visual world, it normally looks terrible and flat and
no buildings.
Yeah, so that's the gap that we fill when they land at an airport. It looks and feels realistic and matches the real world counterpart.
Would you say that you had any kind of difficulties throughout the business? Like were you like ever thinking this is not going to work?
With some products, I'd say.
Yeah.
So there's sometimes, obviously, we have to decide what product to make next, which location to choose next. We've sometimes chosen a smaller area or an American airfield, for example, and the profitability on that would not be so great. So, I suppose they're the learning experiences for that. But
then from that now, then we've got data from all the past few years, so we can run back through kind of all of the stock data we've got to see what's been profitable, when it's been profitable, and then work out why.
See the trends as well.
Work out trends, and now we know kind of what's probably best.
Are you guys doing this by yourself, like, or do you have like people helping you, like?
So us two are the only two working mostly on it, right?
Yeah, we're kind of obviously we do it alongside uni. We do it full time. There's also
we support the business aspects of it, not just the making of the products. But then there's a couple of contractors, I suppose.
Yeah, we can contract. I mean,
are we contractors?
We don't really like to use the. Well, I personally don't like to use the word contractor. I mean, like legally bound in. I suppose that's what it is. But it's more so we're a team with remote workers as well. So one, whether it be Australia to parts in the UK, people work remotely and they'll
contribute parts of the
product, and that will feed in, and we've got kind of a giant Kanban boards that we control and track the products.
Business-wise, it's smart though. I mean, okay, I'm not going to call them I am going to call them contractors actually. It's like you don't just have somebody paying them, I don't know, like a fixed rate. Whenever they do work, they get paid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, and it's all done based on what the product was as well. So if you're contributing to a Gatwick project, for example, that's going to be significantly different from a small airfield in the UK. So that we also take that into consideration too.
Do you guys protect like this idea you have, this plan? Let's say I'm here, I'm going to come work for you guys, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And are you going to make me sign anything? So like,
No, we've got, but that's another thing that kind of you figure out when you get chucked in, well, jump into the deep end, which is what we've done.
You have to work all the business side of it.
Yeah, there's loads of things you don't even think about, obviously employment contracts through to
NDAs as well.
NDAs.
So we've had to distribute 4 or 5 NDAs recently, I think. So whether that's people we're working with, like contractors, like you say, or whether that's other companies we're working with, we have to distribute NDAs and sign NDAs ourselves. So there's a lot of that back and forward.
It is, and a lot of people don't know about this, like, or they learn about this kind of things later on when it's too late. But you guys got right to it in the beginning.
Well, it's definitely been difficult along the way as well. When you jump in the deep end, you don't know everything to start with.
Yeah.
But then that's not a bad thing. We've definitely learned a lot from the journey that we've been so far.
It's good if you're in this kind of university situation as well. There's people here that do study those areas and those topics, so you can leverage that. Yeah. So we had a meeting with Peter and Lynn, solicitors. That was through the university, so we were able to uncover maybe areas that we were a bit weak in.
Let's say you're going through your business venture, and you're like, when's the moment you realize this is big, like we're going to hit big?
A couple of moments, I'd say. One very recently with kind of different partnerships and different ways of releasing products that's kind of hit us that we're actually quite a big brand now and it's taken seriously, which has been nice and quite refreshing. But then same again, probably back even after a couple of the products we did before university even. There's a few moments there when you have a lot of customers coming in at a short amount of time and stuff like that, that kind of solidifies that at the same time.
So basically recently was your busiest kind of like...
I'd say one of the most significant kind of pivotal points.
Spike since the start of this year. Mainly due to a few kind of external factors and things that we've been pushed internally as well, and everything's magically met in the middle, which is great. And we've got a partnership with the foreign company.
Which published the products.
Yeah, which they published some new products, and they've got the company. And they're kind of we're working with them quite closely, which is great, and it's helping to grow us, and we're kind of more recognised, more so than we were before, which is great.
Yeah, it's nice. We spent a lot of time in kind of first and second year of university, kind of rebuilding and redefining the brand. So we spent a lot of time and quite a bit of money actually making sure that the brand's consistent with the products and what we're trying to get out of the products, and that's kind of finally shown to pay off kind of this year, which is
I can see from the smile it's paying off. Would you say that the money that you guys spent, was it through, let's say, investors, or was it your own money, hard-earned?
No, it's always been bootstrapped from the start. I think it's something that, personally, is kind of my view. If we can, I don't know if I'm hoping Jack will say, if you've got a few £100, a few thousand, whatever it is to spare that you can invest into something, that's, in my opinion, much better if you can add your personal time to that and your skills, and then you get full ownership. We've never been at a point up until now, I'm not sure into the future, that we need investment from an external party. We take the bootstrap approach where any money comes in, we get paid ourselves, reinvestment back into the company, and it kind of grows like that. And in that bootstrap approach, it's then been kind of great for us. We control everything, and there's no
dependency.
There's no external pressures, maybe say that we would get from investors. Into the future, maybe. But as it stands, it's been bootstrapped.
Yeah, I think it kind of makes sure that you're kind of more motivated as well. I think if it's just your kind of skin in the game, it's fair to say, then you've kind of got more on the line and you want to actually deliver that properly.
So basically you get the bigger chunk of the
exactly.
profits, number one. You get all of the fame. I mean, I'm not sure. But it's basically, it's your thing. It's not, he doesn't have 10%, it's our thing, you're going to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
If it works, then it's great, and it looks great on you, and it looks great on the company. And if it doesn't work, it's a great learning curve because you put so much into that. So I think it works both ways.
A lot of people are scared, to start their own business. I mean, how would you say you felt when you started it? Did you were you working with other people, and then they just gradually left, or did you just pop up with the idea by yourself?
I don't know. Well, kind of. There was no one else involved at the start. There was a few people along the way, so before Jack joined that would help out, kind of like the contractor situation that we've got now.
Yeah.
It was very part-time, and they might kind of contribute a little bit towards the product, help me out, and that would save time. One of them went on to be an airline pilot for EasyJet, so that so it's people that everyone in the industry, if you like.
Yeah.
He worked part-time while studying for his ATPL, which is license needed for airline transport. So yeah, that was that. People, it was just part-time. Yeah, no one really helped. I just kind of jumped in the deep end. Got on with it, gave it a go.
I suppose once you see it happening once, with a digital product, there's no kind of inventory of stock. So once it's out there and it's on sale, you can just leave it to do its own thing. Yeah, and if you're seeing that coming back positively, then it kind of spurs you on to carry on.
I mean, that very first product I made back in, start of 2016, I'm still seeing sales of today, and that was released 4 years ago now. And it looks terrible. It needs a revamp.
In these conditions,
I mean, compared to where we are now to what that was is miles away.
But that's the point, right? You start somewhere and you just see what you can achieve in yourself in that first instance, and then move it from there.
And then build upon that. Yeah.
So, would you say the university helped you, kind of push you towards getting advice, maybe push you basically towards the correct direction?
I'm not sure.
You spoke a lot more to uni people, kind of first and second year, didn't you? So.
Yeah. So alongside Jackson with the Entrepreneur Society, that was something that we saw a gap in the start of uni. There was no kind of student-led society for entrepreneurship. So we created that, and I think we're still running.
You're running the Entrepreneurial Society,
alongside Jackson Pickard, yeah.
So you're into university things as well?
Kind of, and obviously the university does have great kind of support as well.
Like the case earlier with Peter and Lynn, so that kind of connection was made through the employability team in the School of Management, so stuff like that's been really useful for us.
Yeah,
arranging events like this, and any kind of networking opportunities as well.
Are your lawyers now, Peter and
I think something else that most people seem to think is entrepreneurship and working for a company are completely two separate things. But we've both been on placement for large companies. And that the experience that we brought back from that, it's been great as well, that we can then apply back to the business. And again, obviously when we were on placement, we still got part-time doing what we could. So that was definitely a good thing. Is to go.
There's different sets of skills you get from just purely working for yourself, but also being part of a large business. And if you get a small experience, maybe it's a summer internship or something like that, that'll actually, you'd be quite surprised how much it can bring back to your business from that. Even if it's completely different jobs, completely different sectors, it's just being in that environment can help a lot.
So basically, you feel like you guys want to work for another company, you got their intellectual knowledge, I guess, kind of.
It's more so even just in the environment of a big organisation, when you're comparing it to just something that us two are doing onto a couple of computers, compared to large offices, multinational businesses. It's kind of the scale, I suppose, really comes into play. And also processes helps as well, how streamlined everything can be if you know what you're doing properly.
So how everything works on such a large scale. And then
make sure everything that we do can be scaled if we need it to be.
I think that's one thing that we've definitely picked up on, is anything we do now, we make sure that we can scale beyond what it needs to be completely. And it's the opposite, obviously, when you look at large companies, when we worked within them, you can see the large processes in place. So we're making sure those exact things, the same type of process where we handle data, that type of thing. What we're doing on a small scale,
still
matches. It needs to be scalable. And that will be crucial, no doubt, as we continue to grow and keep building. The scalability is there. So.
Are you happy you guys came to university?
Definitely, yeah.
And because a lot of people are like, university, it's going to get you a 9-to-5 job, you're not going to do anything with it. But you guys started your own business, let's say, before that. You came to university. Do you feel like that enhanced your knowledge or how to drive this business to grow where it is right now?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a mix of the content taught in modules, as well as networking opportunities.
Yeah, nice experience as well. Stuff like the placements that we kind of mentioned on a minute ago, we wouldn't have got those opportunities if you weren't at university.
Yeah.
Maybe not if you weren't at Swansea, who knows, but like it's those kind of factors that bring back to your business maybe indirectly, so not initially what you may expect.
Yeah.
But yeah, even the kind of environment that you're in at university, you're not locked into 9 to 5 study. I don't know how many people want us to say this, but you've got quite a lot of free time as a student, so
Yeah.
you can make use of that productively, or you can waste it. It's up to you.
Is there anything else about you guys that you want us to know?
Yeah, I think especially recently we were starting to look at kind of more commercial opportunities, even within what we're currently doing, because we know what works with the kind of consumer side, and we know that commercial opportunities are available with other developers doing that. So kind of looking into those other avenues, I suppose.
I was going to ask you, how do you advertise your business? Like, is it through social media?
Yeah, the market and the kind of community is really, really predominantly on Facebook, which is good and bad. So like, you'd expect maybe YouTube to be a huge platform and it contributes for trailers maybe and stuff like that, but all of the kind of communications for marketing a new product or just having a chat and finding out if there's any bugs or anything wrong with the product, that all usually happens through Facebook.
Yeah, well, chat channels.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What about LinkedIn? Do you like?
We have it.
We use LinkedIn.
I wouldn't say it necessarily contributes to sales or anything on the product side or consumer side of the business, but it's good for us to just kind of showcase what we're doing.
Network.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because you never know, somebody might be like, oh, I saw.
Yeah.
Well, we did work with. We can say about the BBC, right?
We worked with the BBC back last year when we were on placement for the Panorama documentary about Gatwick Airport. So the drone that shut down Gatwick for a few days. Then Panorama made a documentary on that on BBC One, and we supplied footage of our virtual Gatwick, not the real one, because obviously they couldn't take up another drone to film what they, the shots they wanted. So they come to us and we supplied some virtual footage of our Gatwick.
You get paid for that?
Yeah, it was all.
Yeah. Jesus.
And then a few other things like we're working with Microsoft on a few of the, within this like industry that we're in specifically as well. So there's a few commercial avenues that that we're in at the moment and have been, but definitely exploring more as we move forward.
Yeah, stuff like flight schools and stuff. We're kind of looking to talk to airports, for example, and people training physically commercial kind of units as well. So.
Have you talked to any airports yet, or not yet?
We've talked to a couple of So it's kind of just discussions to work out what pricing works for them, what works for us, and if there's any kind of unique projects they want to be undertaken.
Start low and then when they need you, just skyrocket the price. Do you guys have like Instagram, like on your Pilot Plus, or Facebook?
Well, you've got Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn.
YouTube's
YouTube will be soon. What else we? No, not Instagram.
And just a shop, right? So the website in general.
Yeah, obviously the website in general. We've got kind of our news area and blog, which gets indexed by Google, which helps with the SEO.
So just Pilot Plus, yeah.
Yeah, in Google it comes up.
Yeah, it comes up
pretty well. So.
And it's been a lot of work over the past few years even. Twitter and Instagram we don't necessarily use predominantly.
That's just because of our market.
Our market's not really on Instagram and Twitter. So it really depends on kind of understanding that market.
I'm going to ask you one last question. How do you guys let's say if somebody wants to use your app, how would you price it? Like, how am I supposed to? It's not a subscription model for consumers. No. So consumers pay a kind of unit price for an airport, which will decide based on where the airport is and kind of maybe even the work they'll put into it. For example, a Gatwick is going to cost a lot more than a small airfield. That'll be a unit price you pay, and then you kind of own the product for your use, your individual use. And that's kind of it. That's a transaction. So I can have it like this forever then?
You get free installations, so 3 different devices, and then if you have any problems, you come back. But yeah, you pay one flat fee.
And that works for consumers, and that's the way that the market works.
Do you guys have like any kind of, let's say, I wouldn't say subscription, but let's say if I want to add new things to my to the platform I have, which I bought from you guys, would you say that I can pay more to get them, or would you that kind of way?
Not at the moment. There's definitely something that could be done. We kind of sell the base packages because it takes a lot of work just to get the base product in there in the first place.
For context, for Gatwick, for example, there was over 70,000 hand-placed kind of objects to build that scene. So that's
70,000
70,000 clicks at the very bare minimum, and then that thing that was actually clicked into place we had to make in the first place. So if you can imagine, you know, trees, curbs, buildings are the obvious things.
Yeah, obviously we start with all the buildings. Was anything from a line on the floor to a traffic cone to grunge going over the concrete. Anything that you see, you know, we start with a blank canvas and the whole thing gets manually made and converted into the simulator.
So for us to close this interview, I want you to basically look at the students or look at the camera or whatever, and give your kind of advice what they should do as entrepreneurs or as students.
Yeah. So I think starting a business can be tough, but you should just jump straight at the deep end and figure out the rest later. And it can be great fun and very rewarding. And alongside studies, it's definitely something that's possible to do.
Yeah, I'd kind of same thing as Joe really. Doesn't really matter if you've got a lot of money to start in the first place, just kind of use what you have got, or skills, whether that's money, whether that's skills, whether that's anything else. Use the people around you, use your network. And basically if it doesn't go well, it doesn't matter because you're bringing so much more experience on your CV that you can take to a company. So either way you win by trying. So.
Right, thank you Joe and Jack. This is Biz Stories and we're out.